It's time.
Video games have evolved heavily over the last few years. From single-player games to online multiplayer, from local LAN tournaments to full-blown esports, gaming as we know it is changing at a rapid pace. Two nerds go on a journey to one of their favorite local eateries and take a deep dive into the future of gaming. This is a 2013 Ford Focus. With a fuel economy of up to 38 miles per gallon and a 4-cylinder engine, it's the perfect cruiser for a pair of nerds to travel in moderate style and comfort. I'm your host, Trydus, and together with my co-host Loki, we're going to bounce around ideas on where we think this amazing world is going, eat some delicious grub, and get our game on. This is Nerds and Cars on Games. We gonna talk some stuff today, Nerds and Cars. Oh, here come my friend. Here come me friend. Oh, that man can't climb a fence, can he? Ooh. Alright, here we go. Yay! Should probably unlock the door. Hey! Oppa! Hey man, I got a question.
Yes.
Something's been bugging me since we started doing these shows. Why do I keep picking you up at different houses?
Why do you keep picking me up in different cars?
Alright.
Squirrel!
Squirrel!
Awesome. So what's the plan for today?
Plan is for today, we are going to a little place called Uncle Franky.
Uncle Franky's. I like it.
Yes.
I like it.
We're gonna get some delicious hot dogs. Maybe. Or burgers.
Or burgers.
But more importantly, on our way there is something that has been just on my mind. And I think it's been on your mind too.
Okay.
Gaming.
Love you. Okay. I love gaming.
Yeah.
I love gaming. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So gaming.
So gaming.
Gaming.
Like the history, the evolution. What have we come to? It's amazing to see just how far gaming has come.
Isn't it?
It's an industry that obviously has evolved, and I like to think of it. Look at it this way, and hate me if you want to with say this, but I honestly mean it. Gaming, when it first came out, video games were a book.
Mm-hmm.
Video games were literally a book, but instead of reading it, you would play it. It's just like having the TV. You'd watch it instead of reading it. It's the same thing, but it all originated essentially from a book. You are living and playing in another realm, another fantasy, portraying things and going through these story arcs in your mind.
That is correct. It's the ultimate ability to live and experience the things you wouldn't otherwise be able to do in the real world.
Correct.
You know, I mean, there are no real dragons except Komodo dragons. So I mean, you know, that's not something we have in real life. And to be able to don some like amazing magical armor and go out and slay some friggin' virtual dragons, that's cool. And that's not something we get to have in real life.
Exactly. When video games first came out, it was all single player, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You had very basic forms of competition. Very basic. Mm-hmm. There were some multiplayers. Let's just say Super Mario. Let's just go with that one. That's kind of the go-to, which started the whole multiplayer thing, which people like to go to.
That's right.
But you still only have two people in that device. Now, look at how big multiplayer has become. Video gaming almost is essentially multiplayer. I think that really stems from the competition of it.
That's true.
Gaming in itself has become such a competitive environment where I don't think it used to be.
No,
like,
not at all.
In all honesty, if I'm thinking back about it, when I used to play all the video games that I had, I started off with the Super Nintendo. I was not competitive with it. I loved it, no matter what game was in that thing.
Yeah,
I don't think it started until, I want to say, the original Halo is when I really started to get competitive with what was happening in the video game world. And I don't know if that's because the games changed or because I changed.
Could be both. My gaming kind of went in single player for a long time, because then I'd get GTA 3 or something like that, where just play single player all night long. The only person you're really playing against is yourself.
Exactly.
But then you'd have your buddies come over, and then you'd play the game, and then you trade off that campaign.
Yep, you trade off the control. I love Grand Theft Auto 3. Video games never started to be a social interaction because it was all that single player. You had to create them to be social. Exactly. Now, because of all those multiplayer aspects, every game is a social game. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your living room playing a game and making friends across. That's still being social. I have made friends playing video games. They are still very good friends in my life and will be for a very long time.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't tell you how many friendships or interesting relationships I've built just off of gaming. And and not to mention our relationship itself. Between you, how many times do we go to each other's places and just chill and beat games all night long?
That's all we did.
That's all we did.
We constantly played games. We were slated for a LAN party one time, but we had to cancel it because you had to go get stupid surgery.
Yeah, I know. Stuff breaks sometimes.
Who goes to a hospital when you're supposed to have a LAN party for Halo 2?
This guy.
That guy, there. At that hospital. We had a LAN party in your hospital room.
We made up for it.
Exactly. We brought all of our laptops in there, and we played Warcraft 3.
And we landed that. We had we kid you not. We had a router sitting in there, and we had the Ethernet cables all over the place. The doctors started getting pissed about that.
I'll find the photo of that. But no, gaming has evolved so much. Like I said, it was those books. It was those stories. It was drawing us all in with that. And now it's just become very competitive.
Absolutely.
And that kind of leads into one thing so just briefly here, and I don't want to go into it too much, but I just want to bring up esports very slightly.
Yes.
Because let's think about this. Football, American football, hockey, all of those sports that are out there, they started as fun games to play. They didn't start being competitive.
No.
The NFL was not created for the sole purpose of football. Football was created, and then the NFL became a thing because people were becoming competitive. You started having all of these people that were the top and the prime of their game. And that is what's happening in the gaming industry now.
And that's ultimately, I think, where video games were always going to go.
Yes.
Even just with those single-player games, as we started playing them, we started making up things like LAN parties and things like that. And that's where it all came from, because we wanted to all game together, even if we were playing single-player games.
Exactly. And I love this. It's becoming so much more common to have a video game system. What house does not have an Xbox or a PlayStation or a computer?
Or a smartphone.
Or a smartphone. Truly, I hate these games, but if you think about it, yes, it still counts. If you play Farmville on Facebook for 40 hours a week, yes, you're technically considered a gamer. You are a gamer. You are no different than the person who grinds in Halo or in LoL or whatever, Dota.
Yeah, right. But now we're into esports. Now we actually have built competition around it. We have professional gamers. Can you imagine? I wish I was 10 years younger right now.
If I would have known that I could have played professional video games.
Oh, man.
How many times in your life were you playing a video game and someone would come up to me like, you're wasting your life?
Yeah.
That's not going to amount to anything.
Kids.
But the thing is, I was always so good at it. And
right?
it just took away from that. It's like, I'm good at this. Why can't I do it? That's what we do with all of our other skills.
Exactly.
If you're good at something, you go with it. And video games are not just something that's there for recreation. Technically, everything is there for recreation if you want to do it. But there are ways to make a living in literally anything in life.
Absolutely.
Our society has changed just as much as video games, and they just kind of adapted with each other.
Watch this. Watch this, folks. In 5 to 10 years, you're going to start seeing college classes on playing a first-person shooter and getting better at tactics and that kind of thing. It's coming.
Yep.
I think we're here.
You think we're here?
I think we're here.
Nice!
Some food,
all right, let's get some food and talk some more about video games.
Bam. So,
future of gaming, right?
Yeah.
Gamer.
Oh,
Movie gamer. Could gaming potentially evolve to something like that in the future? I do not think whatsoever that in the future convicts are going to be used for anything like that. What I'm saying is, look at the celebrity status that they had. Will gaming get to that point? Will we have Chad Ochocinco's?
Right.
Will we have Serena Williams in the video game world?
Now you're starting to get to the point where you're hearing team names cross-platform.
Yeah.
Cloud9's
Cloud9, Luminosity, Dignitas. There's so many
Team AIDS, who's new but just coming out. They're starting to cross platform. You see these are now playing. Now they have multiple teams for Smite, Heroes, Overwatch, etc. It's going to go from there, and then you're going to start seeing like ESPN coverage and all of that.
2 years ago, I think it was when I first saw it was Heroes of the Dorm on ESPN2. So it was Heroes of the Storm called Heroes of the Dorm tournament on ESPN2 that was there. I had no idea that was going on. I was just flipping through the TV. Phenomenal. I saw that and I'm like, I don't even play HOTS, but I'm okay with this. And I sat and I watched it and it was great. Definitely I feel to introduce video games to a watchful eye, to the media, like to actual TV, I think Counter-Strike is the correct way to go. Like, when you introduce a MOBA to people that don't know much about video games, they're out of their element with that. However, when you introduce something as simple as, hey, my team has a gun, their team has a gun, one of our teams has a bomb, we have to plant the bomb. That's a simple procedure for the game for which people can follow along with and kind of get behind, as opposed to, holy crap, there is all of these objectives and all these lanes that you have to try to win. There's a lot more to the other game.
Well, yeah, I mean, because shooters have been around for 20 years.
Shooter is simple. Nothing to take away from shooters.
MOBAs, though, have been around for 5 years tops.
Yeah.
I mean, with the original Dota, which was just a mod, really.
Exactly.
You know, now you have Dota 2, actual Dota 2, League of Legends, and everything else. But only 5 years. It's still very new. And it will continue to gain steam as we pull forward, which is just going to be huge. Yeah, I'm so excited about it. I mean, but I'm just really excited for 5 or 10 years from now, where you're going to be seeing professional teams, and you're going to get that more of that recognition. Yeah. You're going to see like pro players on late night talk shows. You're going to see
not just Twitch talk shows.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're talking like Conan, right? Like it's already happened.
He already does his video games. Because Conan brings celebrities in to play video games.
That's true.
Which is great. Being a video game geek is not what it used to be. It's much more socially acceptable, and I think it's due to that reason, kind of as I stated earlier, that the systems are everywhere. Video games are everywhere. Every single person is involved and impacted by a video game, essentially, at this point. Whether it's you on your Xbox at home or your son who's playing on his phone, that still impacts you.
I think there's something we should clarify. Now, just because you're a gamer doesn't mean you're going to be a pro esports player or anything like that.
Yes, correct.
I've accepted the fact that I'll never be a pro player, and that's okay with me. What I'd love to do someday, and like what I'd love to spoiler have for Rivet City is I'd love to be sponsoring esports teams and getting involved, getting in the game without being in the game. You know?
No, I got you with that.
Like, but it's such a cool world, and it's really fascinating how far that's come. And I'm not even like jelly about not being able to get to play professionally or whatever. Like, I'm just happy to like have been able to watch this, like
watch it come to fruition.
Watch it come to fruition.
Like we've been able to see the progression of it through our life, and it's amazing just to see what it's come from and what it is to. Like coming from, sitting at home with my dad yelling at me, hey, get off that video game console and go do something, and now I can sit down and watch a Counter-Strike tournament on ESPN with him on the couch. Yeah. This is becoming a geek world.
Yeah, it absolutely is. We're taking off, man.
It's actually socially acceptable to be a geek.
It is.
In today's society, which is weird for me.
Yeah.
Because I prided myself on being that, I was different. I didn't like being part of the whole crowd. Now it's like, I'm a geek. Okay. Yeah. All right. We're cool now. It's like, all right. I guess we're cool. We're jocks now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's the thing. We're blowing that stereotype out of the water too. Mm-hmm. Like we're combining those things.
Yeah.
It's cool to be both geek and fit or whatever else. Like you can be a nerd and a jock.
Exactly.
And you know it's also funny. Henry Cavill, who's currently Superman in the DC movie universe, like all that dude does in his spare time is play WoW.
I did not know that. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, he was actually he almost didn't get the role because he was busy playing WoW, which is a hilarious story.
That would be absolutely hilarious, man.
It's good stuff.
I think our food's ready.
All right,
food.
Let's dig in.
Let's dig in.
Look at that.
I feel like I shouldn't even put ketchup on this thing.
Yeah.
I don't think
I'm not gonna.
It's like
I'm not even touching it.
no, I'm not touching this. I can't do that. That's
just perfection.
That's an atrocity.
Yep.
It's just beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Look at all the colors on that. It's good. Look delicious looking.
Taste the rainbow.
All right, let's dig in.
Oh, I haven't even taken a bite yet, and I have to use a napkin.
Right?
Look at that. Let's go.
That's exactly what I want.
That was a good burger.
Tasty. So, like, what kind of games do you think are going to be coming out in like 10 or 20 years?
Honestly, it's going to be more multiplayer, more competitive. I think all the developers are now realizing this. It's very rare. I think the only studio out there right now that still primarily does single player games and with no multiplayer is Bethesda. That's pretty much it. But everyone else is using these for tournaments, using these for everything, and don't even get me started on downloadable content. But wherever it goes, I think it's going to be a little bit more toned down. I don't think it's going to go the MOBA route, because like I said, that can get very confusing for people who are very new to it. Shooters are very easy.
Yeah.
Shooters are extremely easy. I can definitely, shooters will never go away. Ever.
I agree.
So I think the only thing that's really going to change is the platforms which they're on. Seems like a boring question to answer, or a boring answer for the question, but at the same time, I think they've kind of nailed the niche in the market. What about you?
Yeah, sure. And I think we're going to find more interesting ways to use VR.
Just imagine when VR becomes a competitive game.
Oh, man.
When you are able to immerse yourself in a virtual environment for a competitive game, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be crazy, because then look at what Counter-Strike will become.
Right.
You're actually in the game. You're actually going through it. You're looking around. It's going to become so much more different. And with that is going to come physical fitness as well if you have to go through things.
It's like now, man, like, there are games, there are like VR games where you have to like dodge and move around. It's like, it's actually a pretty decent workout.
Yeah.
Like, I have to fire the goal
It's
and I'm
crazy.
constantly moving this around, man. It's not bad. Like, what really gets me is like, how do you track movement? Like, it's like walking in place, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the only way you could do it maybe on a treadmill, so you'd have to have like a full system, but still.
It'd be tough. And who knows what they're going to come up with. But I'm sure there's someone out there that's trying to work on some sort of development for it.
Right.
But right now, I love where video games are at. I don't think they're in a bad place at all.
No.
They're constantly growing. It's a great industry.
Came a long way from a couple of joysticks on a massive console.
Gosh, that was crazy.
Like that, right? The arcade game right there. Came a long way from that.
Commando.
Yeah.
I love Commando. So what? I challenge you, in the spirit of video game competitiveness. Commando. Go. Go. Brother, shoot the guy. Shoot the guy. Shoot the guy.
I'm shooting the guy.
Shoot that guy. That guy. Oh my gosh, you're terrible. Your bullet went right past it.
I don't understand.
You're throwing grenades. You're not even firing your gun. You're throwing grenades.
It's fine. We're good to go. We're good. It's fine. I literally just walked through that guy.
You're dead. Get out of there.
Fine.
Get out. Move. Look at that. That's how you play. That's how you play Commando. Except there's a tree there. Oh gosh, there's a tree.
And you're dead.
Lasted longer than you.
No, he didn't.
Go. I win.
This time.
This time. Friendly spirit. Friendly spirit.
Alright, man, I'm excited about the future of gaming.
It's going to be good.
It is going to be
Future
good.
gaming is going to be solid.
Yeah.
But let's enjoy the now.
Yeah, let's enjoy the now.
Let's enjoy the now. Gaming in itself, it's already on the uprise. Get out there, enjoy your games.
Enjoy your
Enjoy
games. Enjoy what you're doing now. Because, end of the day, it's all about the game.
All about the game. It's all about having fun. In a competitive way, but having fun.
But having fun.
Cheers,
All right.
buddy.
Cheers, buddy.
We'll catch you all later.
Game on. Car.
Dark.
Car.